Hello, my name is Jordan White, and in all my years of cooking in a restaurant, I have found out that one of the most difficult things for people to cook or make is a quick and efficient omelet. So I'm going to show you guys how to cook it right now. Now, the most important thing before you cook anything in an expensive restaurant or even a cheap restaurant is to wash your hands, which I've already done. And the second important thing is your pan. Everybody should have a designated omelet pan if you're really into omelets. This one has a couple of scratches, and believe it or not, that can affect your omelet, and you'll see why later. So what you want to do, especially if you have guests, what I've done is I've taken an ice cream scooper and scooped the butter out, and what it does is it makes pretty little balls, which is nice for whoever you're cooking an omelet in front of. Now what I've done is I've also melted about 3/4 of a cup of butter, which when it's done melting gives me about a half, which is about all you need for about 3 or 4 omelets. And what I've done here is I've taken some of this butter, because the second most important thing to making an omelet is making sure that your pan is well lubricated, and that you'll also see later why that's important. So what you want to do is you want to put about 2 spoonfuls of butter in your pan, and you want to just let it cook. Let it melt down. You can pick up your pan, you can swirl it, make it go a little faster. But the third most important thing to an omelet is a hot pan. You want to get your pan really hot, because what that does is when the pan is really hot, it cooks the egg immediately. And when you're working in a restaurant or working in an omelet bar, that's really important, because you want to get your omelet out as quickly and efficiently as possible. And each omelet takes a couple of minutes to cook. So now, as you can see, my butter's starting to bubble. I'm going to swirl this around. And it's important to get the butter around the edges of the pan like this, especially towards the back end, because when it comes time to flip your omelet, even though it's scary, I'll show you how to do it. You want to get the back of your pan right there. And this could use a little more butter. And as you'll see, this is where it comes in. Now don't worry, we're not going to eat all this butter, so it's not going to go right to your thighs. Get the pan nice and hot. You want to keep it on a hot flame at first, because that's what's going to get the pan hot and make your omelet pretty quick. So now that we've got enough butter in there, and you can see there's excess butter in a restaurant, there's room for waste. At home, you probably want to put in a more sufficient amount of butter, but this right here will do. Now you want to turn your flames down. Now the first rule, today we're going to make a feta cheese, spinach, bacon, and mushroom omelet. And what I've done is I've gotten these single cup servings of egg beaters, and these are really great. They're about $6 for a 3-pack, and 1 cup is enough egg liquid to make a perfect omelet. So the first rule to ingredients is what you want to do is you want to put the things in that are going to take the longest to saute. In this case, the mushrooms are going to take longer than the spinach or the bacon. And in reality, if I was making this in a restaurant, this bacon would be raw, so I would have to put this in first. But what I did right now to make this more time efficient was I bought pre-cooked bacon, and they sell it in the frozen section, you know, with your meats. And so all I'm going to do is throw it in the saucepan to warm it up. Now what you want to do is you want to flip your mushrooms and make sure they saute well. And also another important thing to remember is the more ingredients you have, the heavier your omelet's going to be. And when it comes time to flip, the heavier your pan is, the more difficult it is to flip. So you want to throw in a generous amount, but not too much, because you got to keep in mind we also have spinach and bacon. Now what we're going to do is we're going to throw some spinach leaves in here. And anytime you're cooking spinach or frying spinach, it's going to shrink a lot, so it's okay to be generous with the spinach. I'll get my spatula and kind of spin this in the butter. Now this is where the liquid butter comes in. Pour a little bit of that. Now to flip a pan, you want to keep it at a 45-degree angle, and you want to go in a circular motion like this. And that's what flips the omelet. You always want to keep your pan tilted down and go in a circular motion. Now as you can see, the spinach is getting very small. So we're going to add a little bit more spinach to each omelet. It's pretty big. We'll break the stem off of that. Add a little more liquid butter. Now that we've got that going, we're going to throw in some bacon. Okay. I apologize for my voice. I've been a little sick. Now that we've got that going, one good test for mushrooms is you want to make sure, if you can see the indentation, if you bring the camera over here, you can see the indentation on the mushroom. That lets you know that it's getting soft. And what you want is a soft mushroom. You don't want to give anybody stiff mushrooms. We can kind of spread this out. You want to distribute it amongst the pan evenly so that they get a bite of spinach and mushroom and bacon in each bite. Now that we're cooking, now that you can see everything's pretty much marinated or sauteed, what you want to do is you want to pour in your liquid eggs now. Now, egg, because it cooks so quickly, it burns very easy. So what you want to do is, so the bottom of your omelet, because we're going to fold these in half, you want to make sure, the most important thing is after you put your egg is to let it cook for a while. You might want to turn your flames down because egg cooks really fast. Now what you want to do is, on the bottom of this omelet, if I were to keep it on the flame, the bottom of it would get brown. It would burn in the pan. So what you want to do is you want to lift the corner. You bring the camera over here. You want to lift the corner, pour the liquid egg, and let it drape underneath the bottom of the egg. This is how you keep the bottom of the omelet from getting brown and from being 5-star restaurant quality. So you want to hold it up and let it drape underneath the bottom of the egg. Now these look like this one. What you want to do is you want to run the egg until all of the liquid egg is gone off the top of the omelet. Now you can see right there. Now this is the part where it's very important that you lubricate the end of your pan. Excuse me. Because this is what allows you to get it going in a circular motion to loosen it up, and you flip it at a 45-degree angle, just like that. Okay? Now you want to get your feta cheese. I'm going to throw it in the center because we're going to fold these over, and that way it's going to be packed with cheese. But you want to leave a little bit of feta for the top to dress it up. Now we're going to let the underside cook. But you don't want to let it cook too long because then it's going to get brown. You want it to be this kind of golden texture. So you want to cook it about half the time you let the other side cook. And you fold it over. These look delicious. Now we're going to get some feta. We're going to throw it on top. Amaya, Frankie, or Amaya, Gino, slide this off the plate. My bad. Slide this off the plate. Oops.
Yum yum.
And bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
I'll get you guys something to drink in a minute. And if you come over here, one of the most important things, this is a rag I cut. It's my omelet rag. The most important thing to an omelet pan is every time you can never wash it. Every time you wash it, you can scratch the Teflon. And like I said before in the beginning video, or in the beginning of the video, that your pan needs to be in as mint condition as possible. And you want it to be lubricated. So what you want to do is you want to get this rag, and while it's hot, you want to just wipe it out. And if you come over here and look at the light, it's a perfectly clean pan. And this is a way to keep your pans clean and your omelet pan lubricated. There you go. And that is how you make a quick and efficient 5-star restaurant quality omelet. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. You guys have a good night.